Hey, everybody. It's Manny Fox, and we are live. I'm so delighted today on our Let's Talk About It segment in our entertainment category to introduce to you an amazing entrepreneur and live performance artist, Mr. Martin Andrew.
Hello.
Hi, what's going on?
I'm hanging out with you today.
You hanging out with me today? We do our little patty cake. Hey, patty cake.
I did this in school. I'm learning something. Yeah.
I was a champ.
You
I was on a team doing that. Yeah.
They used to do it really quick.
Yeah. We were on a team, but it was 4 of us, did the whole little thing.
I couldn't do the skipping rope either.
Couldn't do the skipping rope.
Tragic childhood.
So everybody, we are having some fun here today in beautiful Viva Las Vegas. The Mother Nature has started to change our weather and it's all of a sudden hot.
It is hot.
So those of you that normally come to Vegas and you are usually unclothed because you thought it was hot here when it wasn't in January, February, March,
cold.
December, November, October, and you all were down here with little or nothing. Now's the time to come and have little or nothing, because Las Vegas is the entertainment entrepreneur capital
of
the world.
The world. So they tell us.
Yes, so they tell us.
So they tell us.
So you're going to come here and do what? Go to New York.
You go to New York, you go to Paris, you can have a Hawaiian experience.
Mm-hmm.
You can look at fountains.
Yes.
You can go to that beautiful restaurant at the not the Stratosphere anymore, it's the Strat. And spin around.
Yes.
And then they got, have you been at Resort World yet?
Resort World is amazing.
That's the new one.
I watched the fireworks for New Year's off the top of the Resort World.
Oh, it's an incredible place.
It was amazing.
Yeah, check it out.
So in our entertainment category today, I had to go and snatch Mr. Andrews and bring him on the show. And I'm so glad that you're here. So we're going to talk about what exactly does he do here in Las Vegas and abroad. A little bit of how you got started and why, what you're working on, and what's coming up for you.
Yeah.
Yes?
We'll talk about all of that.
Let's talk about all that. Can we talk about food first?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about food. I mean, I'm getting a bit peckish.
A little peckish?
Yeah. We may have to go to the green room.
Yeah, we're going to go to the green room and have some finger food. But first, you know how I do it on my show. I got to get him to hold my coffee cup. Can we do that? Can we hold my coffee cup?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to do that.
We're going to go for the coffee cup, and we are a little Folgers in our cup.
That's gorgeous.
All right, you all. We're talking about the pecan, roasted pecan, and I had hazelnut. And coffee's always pretty good anytime you want.
And you know what makes it delicious? Is that little sprinkle of cinnamon.
Yes, the little cinnamon.
Don't miss out on the cinnamon.
I like a little cinnamon.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're talking about our kitchen, because you all know that I've been working on my show, Manny Fox and Friends in the Kitchen. You're starting to see a few little sprinkles of that on YouTube right now. And by the way, our YouTube show is now every day at 3 o'clock. You'll see a new show. So make sure you write in so you can get on the timeline. Mm-hmm. Now, Mr. Andrew,
yes,
you got a little something in the kitchen. What's one of your favorite dishes?
My absolute favorite dish, and it's not fish and chips. My favorite dish, I do like fish and chips.
Okay.
I digress. It's curry. I love curries. And I really enjoy making them. I often have people over the house and everything, and I usually do 2 dishes. Mm-hmm. I'll do a really hot and spicy one, which is the beef dish. Ooh. And then I'll do a milder one, usually with some coconut and stuff like that, and that'll be the chicken dish.
That'll be chicken dish.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love to do that, and we have our poppadoms.
Okay.
Those little crispy things.
Crispy things.
Mm-hmm. And then the naan bread. With some garlic butter on it.
You gotta do it all with your fingers.
Oh yeah, you gotta do that. Yeah.
It doesn't taste good if you're using a fork or spoon. You just gotta eat it with your hands.
No, and then afterwards, I often make a little sweet treat as well.
Sugar.
Oh yeah, I've got to get your sugar fix in.
What's the sugar fix?
Well, I'm not sure I can say it on this live broadcast. Well, it is because although it's a perfectly innocent thing to say, it could be misinterpreted by a North American audience.
Ooh. Okay, so we won't say what the sugar is.
I think I should say anyway.
No. Hey, there you go.
Spotted dick and custard.
Oh.
There, I said it.
I have no idea I have no idea what that is, but you're gonna find out when we do that cookie show.
It's delicious. You love it. It's sponge and raisins and stuff and hot vanilla sauce, and I love it. And we're gonna get stuck into that.
We're gonna get stuck
You
on
and me.
that one. Okay.
You and me.
I need to make sure we have a fruity drink because my friend girl from Jamaica, she has a fruity drink when she makes her curry, and it has a little bit of everything in it with the pineapples and the umbrella.
Gotta have the umbrellas.
Yeah, we gotta have that.
I like the umbrellas.
Can we do that?
I want that, and lots of chunks of fruit in there and everything, and some sort of a coconut thing.
A coconut
going
thing.
on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little about your live performance.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a particular live performance that you do that I want to save that for a little later.
Okay.
But just the live performance as far as being in a rock band and as a young person, you had the long hair and you were doing your thing and you play a lot of instruments.
Yeah, the playing lots of instruments sort of came a bit later when I was doing more recording work, but in the early days, and we go back now to, 1981 is when I moved to London and joined my first rock band, although I wasn't a rock band in my hometown in 1979, I think it was. But in London, I joined a band called Heretic. And that band got a record deal, and it wasn't a very good record deal, but it was a record deal. And we toured around. We got to play some nice venues, and did the whole rock and roll thing in a tour bus, and kind of living on the bus, and do we eat, do we buy guitar strings, all that fun stuff,
Oh, wow.
And that's how it all started out for me, was over in the UK in London, and then it progressed from there over to Europe, and did some shows over there, and then an opportunity came up where I was able to go to Canada, and I went there in 1989 and continued playing with rock bands right until I didn't, which would have been around late 1990s, and then I went into theatre work.
Okay.
And that was a dare.
That was a dare.
I didn't plan on doing it. It was a dare. I was at a nightclub, and a girl who was sitting with me, Marcia, her name was. She goes, you'd be really good at this. And I was like, about that. She goes, no, I dare you. You should do that. You dare me? I'm in. So I auditioned, and I honestly didn't think I was going to get it. And the production company hired me, and I ended up doing 3 years of musical theatre with them.
See?
In a bunch of different cities in Canada.
So you all know that Minnie Fox started out as a theatrical actress. So we have that in common.
We have that in common.
In the heart of theater, once you learn what to do, stage right, stage left, center stage, backstage, when you learn all of that and you're actually in the heat of whatever the production is, there is no 1, 2, 3 and action and stop and start over and retake and recut and let's blend it and edit later. It's live.
You're in it.
It's live. It is.
One of the most intimidating shows I did in the theatre was actually here in Las Vegas.
What was it?
It was a Matt Jarman production called A Night at the Dogs. It was with the British National Theatre of America. And we did it on the Cheyenne campus, and it was basically like in the round, although it was a square. But what that means is when you're performing, you're in the center, and you have audience people all the way around you, and a small set in the middle. So there is no escape. There's no like turning around and doing this or anything like that, because everywhere you go, there's people looking at you, and it was so close.
Wow.
For instance, when I was doing a part where I pick up a magazine, there was somebody. If you're the audience, I'm here. I'm right here, and you can't make eye contact. They're staring at you, trying desperately to get you to look at them.
Wow.
You can't do it. So, and it actually got quite good acclaim for that particular show. But that was the most intimidating one. But a great character in there. I was a thug. Nasty piece of work I was.
Does he look like a thug?
Terrible it
It's a
was.
teddy bear.
Yeah, and I was. They wanted me to be like a South London. So I was, go blimey, mate.
Okay.
All right, gonna smack you around.
Yeah.
It was all that. So it was quite fun.
That is cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's like me being a bodyguard. What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Did I try that?
Yeah.
You gotta get the neck thing as well, right?
What's up?
What's up? What's up? Tourette's.
Turn the what?
Yeah.
That is so cool. So right now you are in Las Vegas.
I am.
And you have a concert or some things going on that you're going to be traveling and doing a few things. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, right now I'm just getting ready to do some more dates. I just came back from Florida and from New Orleans doing a... Is it back on?
Hey.
disappeared for a second.
Well, you know, it kind of cuts off when it wants to because it's live. It does its own thing. I can't control that. But we're doing a tribute show to who?
It's this guy. I don't know if you heard of it. His name's Rod Stewart, and apparently I look a bit like him and sound a bit like him. So I'm able to go out and perform a show singing his songs, which is a wonderful library of songs. And you can keep doing that. My little stuff, you can keep doing that. And yeah, I went to Florida and did some shows down there. I just came back from New Orleans and New Orleans. And later on in the year, I'm going out to New York, to Boston, a couple of dates in California, and I'm also going up to Canada for a couple of weeks. So that's what's happening this year with that little segment of my career.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you all out there know that I'm a big Rod Stewart fan.
No, really?
Because Do You Think I'm Sexy? That was my favorite song when I was a little skinny bean modeling in the world. I used to love modeling on that song, and just pretty much most of his music I really love and adore. So you know, I got to be the background singer. To open a show.
Can I tell you something about?
He's performing here in Las Vegas.
I've got to tell you something about that
to
song.
come down and see.
I've got to tell you this because you talk about modelling to that song.
Mm-hmm.
When I perform that song, I've got a video montage behind me on the screens while I'm singing.
Mm-hmm.
And what I put together for that one was actually modelling fails.
Nice.
Because I didn't want to go with the obvious,
right.
all this kind of stuff. So I put down all these things. You know, they're walking down the cat with these
and
fall over and they fall in the swimming pool and the thing collapses. And yeah, I went for that.
That's different.
Would you like to do that live?
No.
Just saying.
But live, I will open your show. I will sing background, and I will sachet touche for you on that song.
You will do that?
Yeah.
I look forward to that.
An audition.
Yeah.
You know, he had an audition, but I just got to do it anyway.
You'll be moving now.
So that is simply amazing. Now, I know the back end story of how you had this journey of becoming Rod Stewart. I don't say Rod Stewart impersonator, Rod Stewart, this, that, but it's a tribute show. It's a beautiful tribute show, just like when I do my tribute show to Tina. You pick certain songs that you love, and you are portraying the essence of that person because you're still you. You're just portraying the essence of that person. There's only one Rod, there's only one Tina, there's only one Whitney.
Well said.
Yes, there's only one Frank Sinatra.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I did a show where I performed with Frank Sinatra and Elvis.
You did?
And I was Tina.
I did a show with Elvis and Marilyn Monroe.
You did?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It was fun.
So tell us about the love story between you and Elvis and how you became to do what you're doing because...
Yes, it's funny how that all happened because, like I said, I was doing theatre work and the run had just finished and I was out of work, as we often are in entertainment. And I was in a bar with my friend, the bartender. You know, going, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And he says, have a chat with this guy. And I look down, there's a guy with a big sign. He looks like Elvis. I'm like, oh no, not an Elvis impersonator, please. And but he was a really nice guy, and he came over. We got chatting, and he asked me would I like to do a show with him. And at first I didn't understand that. I thought, you know, hand him scarves and water or just work the show. And he said, no. He said, you're a singer, and do you think you could do Rod Stewart? And I'd heard this throughout my career because I had the long blonde hair and everything. Oh, you look like Rod. I said, no, I don't think I want to do that. But then he said, look, if you do this, I can pay you this. And I said, when do I start?
No
brainer. Yeah, so I went out, thrift store, which we both love, and I got myself a red jacket and a tartan tie and, you know, some nice tight pants and everything, trousers. And I auditioned for them, I got the gig, and I started working in Canada doing the casinos up there. And then the transition from there to Vegas, do you want to talk about that?
We want to know how he transitioned from there to Vegas, because that's where we are now.
Yeah.
And we're giving that back end of the story because we want you to know what's going on in Vegas now and how it came to be. So
well, yes. I totally hadn't planned on coming to Las Vegas. Totally not. And I didn't plan on doing this Rod Stewart tribute thing for very long. I thought I was going to do some more theatre work. But, as it happened, this particular Elvis I was working with, his brother, who's called Darren Lee, was at the Stratosphere, and there was a show there called American Superstars that used to be there. And their mother was their manager, Okay, so the mother says, hey, we're going down to Vegas to see Darren. Do you want to come down and check it out? Absolutely. It coincided with my wife's birthday, so let's make a trip of it, you know. So we went down and we saw the show at the Stratosphere, and I thought, if I'm going to do something as crazy as this, best do it in the craziest place. Las Vegas. So I literally, we went home and I said to my wife, we need to go to Vegas. And she's like, okay. And you got to think about that. We're living in a different country and we've got no attachments down here at all. How do we do it? That's a completely different story. But anyway, we managed to make it happen. I signed on with an agency who sponsored me and got me started in Vegas. And then what was supposed to be just an interim project until I got the next theatre show became a bit of a career change because I was able to work quite a lot in the early days of being down here, work with the big casinos and everything. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was a good time.
But see, you also have a musical background where you're actually playing instruments.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't mean just the
Okay.
Tell us about the instruments you play.
The instruments. Well, it was through a necessity more than anything. My main instrument was bass guitar when I was in the rock bands in the UK. But as that progressed and I was writing more songs, and you get the software now where you can basically have a recording studio in your own room. So I started writing and I thought, well, I just want to play the parts myself. So I ended up programming drums, playing the bass, playing the guitar, playing the keyboards, doing all the vocals. And on occasion, I would get friends of mine to come in and sing or play on the albums. But it was more out of necessity that I learned to play everything. And I like different instruments. It's fun. I love music. It's my therapy.
Well, if you're just checking in with us, we are live, and I am sitting here with the entrepreneur, live performance artist, renowned, international. Can I just keep going? It is Mr. Martin Andrew. And I have a very special person that just chimed in. I'm going to read to you what they said because normally we don't too much read them anymore until later on the back end, but I have to read this one out loud if you don't mind.
No,
okay?
Absolutely. That's what it says.
So it says, oh my God, I love him. I met him in Hollywood and I was so drunk. I was 18 years old and I threw up by his table. Oh my God, he was so nice about it and laughed and said, it's okay. Wow. Somebody wrote that in.
That's a beautiful. I got a visual on that. You got a visual on that?
I got a visual too. Well, thank you for sharing that love story, and we're so glad that you're watching and you were able to say hello to the man that told you that it was okay to be you and
it is all right.
Not feel well.
I've thrown up on a few tables myself over the years in various other places.
Wonderful. So if you're just chiming in, as I mentioned, let's talk about it with Manny Fox. This is our new set. I've been working on some things, reason why you haven't heard me live in a moment, but we are on YouTube and we have shows that are featuring daily at 3 o'clock every single day. And also the Manny Fox YouTube page is happening as well. And you know what? We want you to continue to write our shows. Tell us about those particular live performance artists that you love so much, like this person, that you want to see, that you want us to bring on the show, or you come on the show yourself. With that being said, we got to give our toast to toast. Can we have a toast?
I think it's time for a toast,
yes.
Especially after a comment like we just read there.
Yes, we are going to toast to Mr. And I keep calling him Mr. Andrew because it sounds so cool. Girls should say Andrew.
I like it. You can say it.
Mr. Andrew.
Do that again.
Here's a toast to you
and
with
to
our
you.
glasses here.
Cheers.
Today we're having
that's good.
Mott's apple cider with oranges in it. We're going to lean in and get our Kodak moment. Hey. Y'all know how we do it here. That's right.
This is good.
Well, thank you for sharing. It's so exciting when you can choose something in your career, no matter how big or small. From the doctors to the nurses, to the cab drivers, to a babysitter. Yeah. Everyone has something within them that becomes amazing when they share it. You have to own it for yourself first,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you let it go onto someone else, that's what makes you amazing. And we talk about being amazing all the time. So, with that being said, that gentleman that saw you, that believed in you way back when, and he just turned 30 a couple of days ago, and I just turned 21.
You can double that.
That Elvis, that Elvis, we want to say in Elvis style, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
His name was Robin Kelly.
Robin
he's
Kelly.
in Canada, and he's the one who got me started doing the right. Without him, if I had not met him that day in that bar, there's no way
things would have been different.
Been very different.
Things would have been different.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Robin
so
Kelly.
He's got a lot to answer for.
Robin Kelly, thank you. It's people like you that put your hand on people in the world, and we become those people where we touch and we empower and inspire people to do some pretty great things. I think entertainment is a component in the world that's needed. Everyone needs to laugh. We need to cry. We need to share, and we need to be amazing no matter what it is that we do. Television, film, theater, radio has a way of sharing those types of stories and empowerment, whether it's the good, the bad, or the ugly, as they say. But it happens, and it's part of what makes our world go round.
Yeah.
Right? With that being said, parenthood is simply amazing, and you all know that I am a mother of one son that I lovingly talk about all the time, and I have become a grandmama. My beautiful Alexios baby boy, he's 7 months old, and he's absolutely gorgeous. And Alexios, pretty soon you'll be able to talk and say, I love you, Granny. And because I say I love you, Alexios, all the time. Our parenthood of what we do for our children and our grandchildren is pretty amazing. And I know that you are a pretty amazing father.
Well, I would leave that to my my kids to attest to. You know, it might be too bold a statement from me.
Ooh.
But I'm happy to be a father, and it's something I never thought I would be. I really didn't when I was younger, and it's something that I'm very happy to have in my life now. Is my wife, my children, my grandchildren. Mm-hmm. I've got a few, you know. Oh yeah, I've got 3 children and 4 grandchildren.
Wow.
And that's not bad for a 30-year-old.
That's not bad.
Yeah. No, I'm
30.
I don't know why people lie about their age. I never understood that. I can happily sit here and say I am 60 years old and I will be 61 in a month or so.
That is 60.
Yeah,
everybody, 60.
60.
I don't quite know how to say that in Spanish. I always mess up my 50s and 60s. But 30 I can hang with.
I was messed up throughout my 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s. Yeah.
So tell us, what was it like to be that 15-year-old? We can go back in a moment of time.
Yeah, the 15-year-old was quite a confused character when I think back of Martin at 15, because I was quite academically gifted as a younger guy, and I was in top classes in school and everything. I was you've seen the Harry Potter films, right? You know, where you had the prefects and the houses and all that.
Right. I
was in the English school uniforms. We had houses. I was the house captain and form captain, and I was in the choir. I was in the orchestra. Yes. That way around, isn't it? I think I'm conducting. Yes, jolly good. Here we go. Yeah. But I was very, into schooling and learning and everything, and I played violin, the clarinet, was in the orchestra, all this kind of stuff.
Nice.
And then one fateful night, I saw a band called Status Quo, Status as you pronounce it here, but Status Quo, which is a blues rock band, and I saw them on a show we had in England called Top the Pops. And I loved this band. I loved the driving rhythm, the blues, 12-bar blues, rock and roll stuff. And I thought, you know what, I think I want to do that. Much to the disgust of my parents. But they did support me. They said, well, we're not sure this is the right thing.
Right.
But if you're going to do it, how can we help? And that's when I got my first, bass guitar and amplifier. And I was in my bedroom. I think it was about for a couple of years before I got my first band. Just I got there every night. I'd do a concert. There was a big album out at the time. From AC/DC, we know who that is, right?
AC/DC.
Yeah, and they had a live album called If You Want Blood. So I'd go into my room and I'd dim the lights down and get the bass on and up to the mirror and I'm ready for this. and I'd put the record on, I'd play the concert. I was in the band, you know. And I used to jump around my room playing this, get all kinds of complaints from everybody. But that's how it all began.
Right.
And I said it was a transition. Again, it's just a weird thing, you know, you watch TV one night. Oh, I think I'll do that. Mm-hmm. If I hadn't turned the television on, maybe I'd be I don't know,
something else.
A pharmacist.
But people sometimes want to give rock a different side or a different vision. Mm-hmm. But there's so many great rock songs out there and so many great rock bands. Mm-hmm. And not everybody that has a rock band has that stigma of that persona of what rock bands do. Because not all of them do that. You know, as far as the other side of that rock world.
Yeah.
Some of them.
I went to the other side.
You weren't eating snakes and
no, I wasn't eating. I wasn't eating snakes, but I did get entrapped by the wild side, the party side of it.
Yeah, the party side, the girls, and, you know, the extra aroma in the air and things like that. That's okay. Yeah. Because everyone has some type of things that happen in their journey.
It is okay until it takes over and becomes detrimental to your health, which it did to me. So, and you know, as a wiser person sitting here now, hopefully, you know, I can look back and I go, oh, why did I do that? You know? But at the time, it seemed like fun. You know, I think it was fun. I can't really remember.
Okay. That is just too much. So, I have something for you. I want you to close your eyes real quick. And close your eyes.
Okay. I'll close
and put your hand out.
All right.
And I'm going to present this to you because I saw it. And I just could not pass it up. And when you say Rod Stewart, and we were talking about Rod Stewart, I've seen this particular, and I said, oh my God, I got to get that. I don't know if you have it or not, or what have you, but if you don't have it, you have it now.
All right.
And forgive me, I dropped something. You have it now. So with all ado, bam.
Oh my goodness. Look at this. Who'd have thought? A Rod Stewart CD. Flashing lights and everything.
Oh, I love the infomercial.
You know what? The funny thing about this is that I don't own any Rod Stewart CDs. I've never had one in my whole life.
You got one now?
So I got one now.
He got it from the Mini Fast Talk Show.
Yep. And I sing some of these songs. That's a good album. You're not getting that back. Thank you. Mine. It's not mine. Putting that down here.
Oh, that is too cool. That is too cool. I'm glad you like it.
I love that.
I'm glad you like it.
I can play
it. I
do
know that you said a theater actor. You're going to be doing some other type of acting coming up pretty soon. Yep. So right now it's on the...
A little bit. Well, some of it's on the download and some isn't.
So if we do on the download, and then you can say whatever you might want to say about the but you heard it here.
Yeah. About a year ago, I did a television show where I didn't look like this. And if you're watching this, you might think, no, that's not the guy. But it was a show called Joe Millionaire for Richer or Poorer, and it was a reboot of a show that was very successful about 20 years ago. And that came out on Fox last year, and I was the Martin the Butler. And talked frightfully properly like this, and rang a little bell and everything. And as a consequence of doing that show, I got friendly with a couple of producers, and we were talking about, you know, just life, careers, all this sort of thing. And they thought it was quite interesting that I was going to be doing the Rod Stewart stuff again. They said, well, that might be fun to like follow you around and see what that's all about. So it kind of developed into this filming situation to document things. I think they call it a document. Yeah, one of those things, yeah. So we're sort of in the middle of doing that right now, and just sort of, you know, seeing what I'm up to and everything, and looking at other aspects of my life, which we're doing here as well. You know, with the original music. I wrote a screenplay. We're going to do a table read from that. I was in a feature film, some TVs, played a lawyer on television. All these kind of fun things, so they'll all be incorporated in this documentation, if you will, of, you know, the life and times of little old me. So that's what we're working on right now.
You said little old him.
Little old me.
And you're here with little old me.
We're here together.
Look, so you know he's been on all types of shows. There's been articles, the media, everything's buzzing. A wonderful journey that you're embarking on now in the entertainment world, where you're on the other side, you're acting and what have you.
And
you've been on the other side,
and
producing and directing.
I'm writing my autobiography.
See, I said producing and directing.
I just wanted to get that in. I want to plug that because I type like this. So it's taken me a long, long time to do it.
So let me speed you up a little bit. On your Android telephone, unless you have a...
I got both. I got
both.
an iPhone and an
Okay, well, pick between the two.
Okay.
As if you're going to send an email to someone, and you click that little microphone, talk everything that you're trying to type right into that phone. XYZ ABC 123. And when you're done, click it, email it to yourself. Chapter 1. Do it again.
You know what?
Chapter 2. Woo woo.
I'm going to interrupt this conversation because here's an interesting thing. And I don't know if you've ever tried this, and maybe it's just me. I think differently and formulate sentences differently when I'm typing, and it's in my head as opposed to speaking.
Well, guess what?
So I am stuck with the time because I tried it, and I do a lot better if I'm thinking it through in my head and slowly typing it, as opposed to sort of blurting it out. I mean, in interviews is different because people draw things out of you, but it's just my own thought process. I do better inside here than doing this. Isn't that interesting?
It's going to be
Anybody
a
else
long
like that?
time for y'all to see this
I'm
documentary.
hopefully by next year it'll be
tick,
done.
tick, tock, tock, tick, tick, tock, tock. But the other thing about talking it into the phone...
This being the phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're talking it into the phone, talk text, and you send it to yourself. Now you got everything that you said. Now go in it and edit. Take out that, put your dots and your question marks and different things. But he gonna tick, tick, tock, 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 tick, tick, and it'll take longer.
He got an English accent, and often you should hear me talking to Alexa. Oh my goodness. Even talking to people. All right, if I said to you folks out there, hi, my name is Martin, could you get Monty from that? Because people do.
Almost.
I was just out at a concert the other night and said, hi, I'm so. Hi, I'm Martin. Good to meet you, Monty.
But you're talking to yourself and you're reading your own. You'll get around to it because at some point you're going to be like, and you're going
to come to my place and I'm going to sit there in the computer and you see what it says that I said, which I didn't say because that's not what I said because I was there when I said it.
See, that's kind of like when you text someone and T-Mobile autocorrects you.
Oh, that's dreadful.
And you didn't look at it because you were talking too fast. In the phone, I talk text, and sometimes I don't see what I said. And then it's like, oh my God, did I say that? And the person texts me back and go, what are you talking about? And then you got to say, T-Mobile autocorrect, sorry.
My wife just sent a text to my youngest daughter, and what she was asking for was a plastic container because the lid didn't fit. And the auto thing says something like, my life's a mess. I need to put things in a box. And my daughter really, what? What's going on?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's always something.
It'd be very embarrassing.
So you have your music career. You got started at the early age of 15. You jumped into the world. You did a lot of great things. And you hit 30 and you got involved in your band, the highs and lows, the energy of live entertainment.
Yeah.
And you continue to go and flourish and do some pretty amazing things. Yeah. What does it feel like? And yes, this is on a Rod note. What does it feel like when you may be at a grocery store or you're out in public somewhere and someone mistakes you as Rod? How do you handle that? Because I know it's happened.
There's a variety of things that can happen. All right, it's not just one singular thing. There's for instance, someone can want to say, and the big one is, hey, do you know who you look like? And I actually wrote a song on my album.
Say that right there.
Yeah. Hey, do you know who you look like? Right? And I put a song on one of my last albums called Do You Know Who You Look Like? Because clearly I do. And it's almost that they want to be the first person that's noticed. You know?
Right.
Do you know who you look like? So that's kind of funny, and it is what it is. When it gets awkward is, and this happened to me one time at Planet Hollywood. I was walking around and a bunch of people come over and they're like, you're Rod Stewart, aren't you? And I'm like, no, I'm not, but you are, aren't you? And they wouldn't get off this. It was like, you are. And in the end, I said, yeah, okay, I am. No, you're not. So you can't win. You really can't win. I never ever do a show and say I'm Rod Stewart. If it's a theatrical show, which I've done in the past, where you're in character, fair enough. But I would never go on stage. It's always just me, Martin.
Of course.
And I'm paying tribute to this wonderful artist called Rod
Exactly.
Stewart. I will never sign anything Rod. Other
Right.
people do. I won't do that.
Like twice in my life, I actually signed my name as that person, but then with my name underneath it.
Right.
And here's why. There was a young lady. I was 15 years old, and I was on the picket. The Stars were on strike that year.
Okay.
And I was holding a picket sign at Disney Studios. And this little girl came up to me, and she said, "Who are you?" And she had her little book, because you're getting autographs from everybody.
Right.
I personally was her getting autographs from everybody. You know, Charlton Heston, Eric Estrada. You know, they all were popular back then.
Sure, yeah.
All over the place, you know. Even Todd Bridges was there. So I told her, I said, "Oh, I'm Minnie, and I'm holding a picket sign." And she goes, "Mom, it's Minnie Mouse, it's Minnie Mouse, it's Minnie Mouse." And she's like freaking out that I'm Minnie Mouse. And that's not what I said. I said my name was Minnie, and I'm 15 years old holding a picket sign. She kept at it and was very adamant about me signing her book. And I didn't want to hurt her feelings and keep saying that I wasn't her. So I signed it. Minnie Mouse. Love you, Minnie. And that was my very first autograph. I was 15 years old. Later in life, in my early 30s, you know, I just had that really straight, long, black hair, stilettos, what have you. And I was in the Beverly Hills Mall. And this little girl came up to me and she goes, and she went back and she got her mom. And I'm like, "What's wrong?" And she comes up, she goes, "Mom, it's Naomi Campbell." And I was like, "No, sweetie, I'm not Naomi Campbell." "Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are." Right? How are you going to hurt the little girl's feelings?
No, I understand.
So I signed it. Her name, Naomi Campbell, love Minnie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was nowhere near trying to portray either one of those people. So sometimes we, you know, I call that a tweak for the sake of the love of the person that was there in front of you, being young people. But as an adult, coming at me like that, I wouldn't have done it.
No. I mean,
I just been like,
with the Rod Stewart character, there's not, you know, you don't get little kids identifying with that at all. So it's mainly older people. But sometimes it can get a little bit crazy. I mean, when I was in Russia, I did a show there, and they sold tickets, and people bought tickets thinking they were coming to see the real Rod Stewart. And I was told in no uncertain terms that I was to stay in character for the whole night.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I mean, they couldn't speak English.
Right?
And I obviously couldn't speak. I mean, I had my spasibo, and that was about it, so thank you. But that was I did not like that at all. But the people I was working for in Russia, it was basically mobsters, you know, it was just... So you don't argue, you know, but I didn't like that at all. And it's rare for that to happen, but mostly people, I mean, I think the allure of this tribute thing, lookalike thing, whatever you want to call it, is a lot of people never get the chance to get close to some of these celebrities. I think more so these days with this media format.
Right.
You know, I mean, I've seen Rod Stewart on Instagram, you know, in his house, and so everyone's got more access now. But as far as a physical meeting, it's very unlikely you're going to get to do that. So if you get like the next person, I was thinking of myself as a knockoff purse, you know, cheap imitation basically. But you know, but if they want to believe it for that moment, great. And when I'm doing the shows, my job is to have them believe it. That. And to be that character, and they can call me Rod all they want. I'll never refer to myself as that.
Right, exactly. I don't either.
I'm just happy to be able to perform it in such a way that people do believe it. And he's got such a wonderful library of music. It's a fun show.
A nice library of music.
No, I love it. Love it.
Well, you know what's exciting is that the entertainment side of you've had television, film, theater, radio. Now you have the Mini Fox show. Because by the time he gets to Oprah and Ellen and Phil and Rachel Ray doing her kitchen stuff, I had him.
She did?
Yeah. So I had him in the middle because you've already done some pretty cool things. So I got you in the middle before you get to the real biggies. I had it. He's all mine. If you are just checking in with us, it's Minnie Fox with Let's Talk About It on Minnie Fox Talk Show. We are on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Check us out at 3 o'clock every single day on YouTube. Subscribe. Trying to get the numbers up, get the numbers up, get the numbers up. And that was just my little ringtone to let me know that my 3 o'clock show is on YouTube right now. It's about to premiere in about 2 minutes. So check that show out. Again, subscribe, tell a friend, help me get my numbers up so YouTube can pay attention to me. And in actuality, you are guest number 200.
I am the bicentennial.
The bicentennial.
I like it.
I didn't realize that the other day. I was doing my numbers. I've done 200 shows. It's crazy. And some of the shows I haven't released yet because it's been so many, But nonetheless, when someone's in the acting world and they're doing film and TV, and theater, I have a certain little thing that I have to give them before the world gives it to them. So you're going to hold your hand out?
I am?
Yes. Hold your hand out, close your eyes. I'm going to slide this into your hand.
Okay, I'm looking up. What is that? What is that? You got
a little closer. There we go.
Look at that. I got me one. That's wonderful.
What's your speech?
My speech. I'm just too emotional. I don't know why I do it. I mean, some of those speeches are incredible, aren't they? That was I think I just faint. That'd be the best thing to do. Just walk up there and go. That'd be it. So overwhelmed. That's beautiful. Yes. It's got MA on it.
MA because you are
Martin Andrew.
Always and forever.
Always and forever.
But sometimes
on the reverse side we have RS for a certain person called Rod Stewart, which I have the pleasure of paying tribute to.
Sometimes. Yeah.
It is a pleasure.
Isn't that cool?
I thank you for that.
You're so welcome.
I know where that's going.
And we got your Kodak moment on him holding his.
This up, yeah, there you go.
Hey. All right, y'all. We just having fun. I'm always submitting and giving and doing some things. So we're gonna close out in just a little bit, but I want to make sure that you know that Las Vegas is back.
It's back.
It's been gone a long time because of COVID, but you out there are still trickling in here and visiting. And as we spoke in the beginning of the show, it's starting to warm up. Yes, it does get 125 degrees here, but that other place called Phoenix, Arizona, it gets hotter than Nevada. It's either 10 to 15 degrees hotter than us or colder than us.
Palm Springs as well.
And Palm Springs,
it gets toasty.
Palm Springs snowed this year. Like real snow. Yeah. They had snow on the ground, Yeah. That's global warming. We know what that is, right?
We've still got snow up in the mountains here. You see?
We do.
95 degrees today and snow up in the mountains.
But you know what that is, right? It's called a 3-letter word. Starts with an M, ends with an N, rhymes with pen.
Man.
Yes, man, and you guys are up there doing stuff. Leave stuff alone.
Yes,
it's changing the universe.
I know.
I've even heard where they wanted to see what was behind Niagara Falls.
I've been to
They couldn't just leave it alone.
I've been on that little boat that sails around in Niagara Falls? It's called Made of the Mist. I didn't see what was behind there. What is behind there?
Well, that Made of the Mist that you got on with your jacket.
Yeah, the blue jacket,
and got wet.
Soaked.
And was down there twirling around.
Very much so.
I was on land, sitting on the gate, holding on to it, taking pictures of you people down here because I wasn't getting on the boat.
You weren't getting on that?
I wasn't getting on the boat, but I thought it was great. But behind the falls is like a little city that existed there before the water became what it was. And apparently, MAN stopped the water so they could see what was back there. It was really weird. There's a documentary on it. If you don't believe me, it's on YouTube. And so while you're watching that documentary on Niagara Falls, the Canadian side or the New York side, whichever side you want to watch it on, make sure you roll over to Minnie Fox Talk Show and subscribe. Now, we are talking about love, life, family, entertainment, the things that make you go, Why is it that some people get involved in the entertainment world, you think?
Well, to quote a guitarist from a band that I like, because we're insecure little show-offs. Francis Rossi from Status Quo said that, and I tend to agree with him. You know, and it's a funny thing, because to this day, when I'm about to go on stage, I'm terrified. I'm so scared. I'd rather not do it. If someone came backstage and said, we'll maybe give it a miss tonight, oh, thank God. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
But once I get out on the stage, I love it.
Love it, yes.
You know, look at me, look at me, look at me, you know?
Right.
And I guess, you know, you can see it in kids sometimes, you know, when, how often do we say that? Look at me, Mum, look at me. You know,
right.
jumping over a hedge
Our
or
children, yes.
doing some paintings or whatever else. And it kind of goes from there. It's a need. And I still have that need. That's why I'm still doing it. It's a need for someone to appreciate something you've done. And it's kind of selfish in a lot of respects, because there's a lot of other folks out there who are doing things day in, day out, which affect people a lot more than what I do. Your doctor, your dentist, you know, whoever it is, you know, the guy, the fireman, whoever it is. No one's running up to them and saying, hey, you know, you look like a doctor. Can I have your autograph? You know, or can you imagine that if you're in the doctor's waiting room, which is the most boring place on the planet, right? You sit there all quiet like this, no one's making noise, and next please, you get up there and just... But if instead it was the door open, it was like, yeah, right on! And
yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Because these people are out there, and there's so many people out there. I mean, this is why, to me, every life, everything that people are doing on this planet makes a difference, all right? It may not make a difference to me personally, but it's making a difference to somebody who, in effect, is making a difference to somebody else.
Exactly.
You know? And we're all kind of connected like that. I've chosen as my career to try and give an escapism, if you will, to people's daily lives. So when I go and sing, whether it's doing the Rod Stewart, my own music, whether it's acting, it's a movie, whatever else it is, for that moment when you focus in on the stage or the television screen, you kind of forget about everything else that's going on, and perhaps something that I sing or something that I say in a script or whatever else can just go, it makes you think about something and maybe alters your direction you're thinking to maybe fix that situation. Or, oh, I'm a bit like that, I need to do something about that. Or, you know, what's like the lyric of a song that triggers a memory. You think about it, you maybe alter your thinking a little bit on things. So I think it's all important. I'm just lucky that in what I do, usually, there's been days it hasn't, but usually people are happy to see you and want to give you all this wonderful adulation and everything. But I think we all need to take time to think that everybody's important. Every single person that's out there who's doing something constructive and toward helping other people, they're all very important. And like I say, the unsung heroes, not many people are going up to them and saying, hey, thanks, or hey, you're wonderful. But
yes,
I think we should take a few moments and think about that. Not just about the wonderful celebrities out there.
As we spoke earlier, we talked about the babysitter, cab driver, that nurse, the doctor, the girl at the grocery store, the person that does your nails, cuts your hair. Everyone has a particular role in life that allows them to be who they are. Hopefully it's something that makes them happy, as they are able to share with others to make those people happy too. And we find that when you have that one certain happiness within yourself, it's easy to make you happy or to receive the happiness that you give me, because I'm happy. I can appreciate the happiness that you're giving me, which gives me extra. And then that's what we do. So if you're just tuning in, you're watching Let's Talk About It with Minnie Fox. I see Ohio, New York, Atlanta. My son says Chicago. I say Chicago. And he goes, Mom, there's no R in Chicago.
Chicago.
I don't know if I always pronounced it like that, you know. But Samantha, earlier you were watching, I think you're still watching, William Phyllis. Thank you for checking in. There used to be a time where I would click the button and say hello and thank you like that, but it got to where when I would do it, it would knock the screen off. And sometimes the camera would flip around and it would show, and it would mess everything up. So now when you pop up, if I see your name, I'll try to make sure I say something. So thank you for watching. And Martin, you have Toledo, Ohio watching you right now. That's Toledo, Ohio. Yes. And that's New York, and there's Atlanta.
I'm going to New York soon.
You are?
Well, I say soon, end of August, beginning of September.
What are you doing in New York?
I'm doing the Rod show, out there. I'm not sure what the venues are right now. The agent's sorting that out, but I know we're going out there for a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's going to be fun. So, unfortunately, I have to wait until he's doing the Rod show in Las Vegas. And then that's when I'll open the show and sing as a background singer and Sashay Touche on my favorite song.
Okay. All right, well, we can do that. We can make that happen.
Let's make that happen. I'm ready for that. And then you get to pick whether you want me to be Tina, Whitney, Donna.
Maybe I'll
Erica
have a little bit of each.
A little bit of each. We got some fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rod and Tina did a song together.
They did. And I actually did a show, a Rod Tina show. We called it Reunited. And the big song, of course, that Rod and Tina did was It Takes Two.
It Takes Two, baby.
Which is, I love that song. It's a fun song. Yeah.
And what's your Tina's name? She's in Canada, right?
Yeah, her name is Samira.
Hi, Samira.
Yeah, hello, Samira. And she's wonderful. We partnered up some years ago, and we developed the show together, which is theatrical sort of based, whereas it's scripted, and it's a storyline of why are Rod and Tina together. And there is a reason for that, because when Tina Turner finally got away from Ike and decided to go solo and get her career going, there was a lot of stars that helped her out a lot. Rod Stewart was one of them. Mick Jagger, David Bowie, Eric Clapton, the list goes on and on and on, Paul McCartney. And we incorporate all the songs that she sang with them and songs that she covered of theirs. So you don't just get Rod Stewart,
right.
You get the Beatles, you get Bowie, you get Clapton, you get all that kind of stuff in there as well. And there's a storyline, so we do a chronology, so it starts off with 70s, Rod and Tina, then 80s, and up to date. And it was a lot of fun, and it got killed by the pandemic, as a lot of shows did.
Well, you're going to reunite with her.
Yes.
And do your Canada show, and then you're going to unite with me in Las Vegas. And we're going to do our Vegas show.
Yeah.
We have our first audience right here. So get ready, get your tickets together. This is coming by the end of the summer. We'll have something going on. Now, Phyllis, we're in Toledo, Ohio, that's watching. She works she doesn't work for him. She was a huge fan of a very famous jazzist, if I'm saying that correctly. And his name is Alexander. He has some amazing jazz. Oh, his concerts are amazing. All back on the East Coast.
Right.
So we've been trying to get him to come here to Las Vegas. We get him to come to Las Vegas. Maybe he can play in the concert that we unite.
Well, that'd be wonderful.
That would be fun. He's amazing. Have you ever had any interest in blues or jazz or R&B, soul?
I like a lot of the genres of music. Stuff I like to perform in blues, I mean, I love like 12-bar boogie blues is what I like, that kind of stuff. R&B, when I don't equate R&B with the R&B of today,
right,
but
of course.
the older R&B, 60s soul music, that kind of thing. I love all that. Jazz I like to listen to. I've been to a few of the jazz bars here in Vegas, and they've got some extremely talented people out there.
Yeah, we do. We need more.
Yeah, and those are fun to go and see, just for the sheer musicianship of some people. I mean, I can sing a song and play an instrument, but when you go and see these virtuosos almost these jazz bands, it really is quite incredible and breathtaking what they can do. And also orchestral stuff. My early days when I played violin and that was in an orchestra, and I really like classical music as well.
Classical, yeah. And then when you're a theatrical actor, which is where I started, which is where you started, and we spoke earlier where you don't get an opportunity to cut, take, rewind, and do it again. Everything's live, like we're live right now. So whatever you get is what you get. And if you mess up, you better know some other line to interject into the line, because you can't stop on stage and start over. Well, you can, but then people wouldn't like it.
There was a situation at a show I did in Canada, if I can just tell this quick story about what you're saying. There was a prop that was sent up to the stage, which part of the plot early in the play was a pizza box arrived and it had a note attached to it. And the note was the whole plot, because we had to read what it said on the note.
Wow.
All right, and then everything had to be referred back to this note.
Okay.
And then you'd find the note somewhere else and all that. And what happened was when they sent the pizza box to the stage, there was no note on it. So we're stood there and we've got the pizza. So instead we'd say, oh my goodness, look what it says on the pizza box. So now the pizza box became the note, and that, instead of having a note, you could have put it in your back pocket. So you had to improvise the whole night using a pizza box for the plot. You know, instead of having a note you could fold up, you had to figure out, what do I do with the pizza box? Oh, we've got to put it there because it's got to be found over there. And so you had to adjust the whole show because of one little mistake. Because as you say, you cannot stop.
You cannot stop.
You can't train wreck on those things.
So speaking of train wreck, you all out there, keep the train moving, and make sure that Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and just the media abroad share our story today as we are empowering and inspiring others to do great things, entertainment or otherwise, in your lives. Did you call someone today and tell them that you love them? Did someone call and tell you that? So you make sure when the show's over, you pick up the phone and just say, I just called to say, I love you. And with that, I got something to show Rod.
So you gonna read my palm?
Yeah, because this is going to be a little bit of a Rod moment, because y'all know I'm a big Rod Stewart fan. And since he's been here, I haven't called him Rod whatsoever, because I truly understand, because I'm not Tina or otherwise. So I'm going to put in Martin's hand the world famous thing that I do on my show with all my guests. Close your eyes.
I'm closing my eyes. I don't know what's going on.
Now y'all stepped up my game a little bit, and now I put them in a pretty little bag when I give it to him. They got hearts on it and everything.
It's coming in the bag.
So he got it in the bag. And this is our stilettos off to you, because we don't do hats off and good job.
You gotta be kidding me.
So hold it up so they can see it.
Hang on, I'm going to take out the bag.
Take it out the bag. There we go.
The reveal.
Woo!
There it is.
He got my red stiletto. Brand new, never been on my feet. What you going to do with that stiletto?
Well, I'm thinking it may be time to get some champagne and...
Just like a rock star.
Oh, the other thing, because do you like jelly beans?
We like jelly beans.
Do you like jelly beans?
Yes.
I love jelly beans. This could be a new jelly bean.
Jelly bean jar. Hold it up so you can see it.
Yeah.
Jelly bean.
In here.
Put the jelly beans in there. I wear a size 10, so that's a lot of jelly beans you jumping in there.
A lot of jelly beans.
There should be plenty of jelly beans left over from Easter.
I think so.
Right. You know who else likes jelly beans?
Who? You?
Okay. I don't know if he really liked jelly beans, but he ate jelly beans on Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yes. He had a champagne glass of jelly beans. Like, he was eating them the whole movie. It was kind of cool. That was one of his things. Why am I holding your stiletto?
Because you can. It's actually your stiletto, but this is now my stiletto.
That is now your stiletto.
Just as long as you know.
Yeah.
And this will go in pride of place in my studio. And it will be inspirational.
Inspirational. So we're going to get our Kodak moment with the stiletto. We're going to put it up to the side. There we go.
Oh, that looks nice.
There we go. So thank you so very much. It has been a delight having you on our show. If you're just checking in, we're wrapping up. Let's talk about it with Minnie Fox and my very, very, very special guest, entrepreneur, international live performance artist, theatrical actor, TV, film, theater, radio. You know, I can just it's just so many different ways that I could go with introducing my very special guest, Mr. Martin Andrew. And ladies, it's Andrew without the S. It's Andrew.
Just kind of fades.
Yes.
Andrew. I like the way you do it better.
You have any last words you want to say to anybody out there in La La Land?
I would just
quite
like
a few people
to
watching.
thank everybody who's taken time to watch this today, and I hope that sharing this time together, we can all be inspired and all just be a little bit more loving and caring about everybody who is out there.
Loving and caring.
Yeah.
That's what the world needs.
I think so. I do.
You know, like that song. World needs now is love, sweet love. Yeah, that song.
Yeah, that's a good song.
We need a lot of that. And unfortunately, sometimes there are people in the world that don't know what love is. They go through life on the journey of what their life has taken them. And maybe they haven't had anybody to tell them that they love them. They haven't had anybody to say, I miss you today, or how was your day? or even the words, how are you feeling today?
Yeah.
Because how are you and how are you feeling today is two different things.
I think it's just important to just take an interest in other people and don't be too self-absorbed.
Yes. So on that note, we're going to lean in for our Kodak moment. And we're going to tell you that we love you.
We do. We love you.
Yes.
All of you.
We love all of you that are watching. So thank you for tuning in. That has been our show for today. Please like, share, follow, and subscribe. Go to YouTube and check out our shows that air at 3 o'clock daily through the rest of the year. I filmed quite a few just for you. You got a certain story you want to tell? Maybe it's a recipe that you want to share in the kitchen with Minnie Fox and friends? Write the show. Let's talk about it, fox@gmail.com. And if for some reason you can't get that one, go to Minnie Fox Talk Show at Gmail. I kept it real simple. I love you guys. And remember to continue to be super amazing, because that is who you are from the moment you were born. All right, y'all. Take care of one another out there. Peace.
Take care.